The neck, I ended up putting a shim underneath to just push it up, and it wasn't actually necessary. So I am just going to finish this thing off. Well, let the fun begin. So it's all been sanded down and I'm ready to stain, and I want to do something a little bit off the wall.
Burn it.
I'm not going to do the normal thing. This is a Glastonbury guitar, and I've learnt a few things in the past year, and I'm pushing my boundaries. They say that you will feel unfulfilled, you will feel unchallenged if you are not constantly pushing beyond what you are currently capable of doing. There is a limit though. You want to be sort of 4 or 5% out of your comfort zone. You don't want to be trying something that's 100% harder than you currently have the tools or knowledge to deal with. And I'm pushing. I'm not sure if this is too far or not, and I'm not sure if what I've got planned for the build next year is too far or not, but by gum, it's going to be fun to try. So check that out. If you hadn't watched the original video, it was just a single video last year. We did a whole bunch of GoPro time lapse building this instrument. If you haven't seen that yet, go and check it out. This is a completion of that. I'm going to be filming the new build from start to finish with cameras this time in the traditional sense. So watch this space. It's going to be fun, I hope, for you and hopefully for me. Anyway, on with finishing this guitar. A year later. What a year. I'm going to start by taking these pins out. In loose at the moment because they were taken out for the fine sanding. All the mahogany bits, I'm going with a dark oxblood. This is the Crimson Vibrant Stunning Stains, water-based. Now, of course, the fool that designed this made it really difficult to sand and see what's going on in these edges, and there's just a little bit of glue built up that I need to address. And when you apply stain, that's when you find out just how ineffective your preparation has been. So I'm just going on with a little Luthier's mini scraper. And tidying it up. I started building this guitar in a field. I love using these chunky nail file sticks in situations like this where you've got curves and strange shapes. They're most useful. Well, judging on that, I've got a few hours ahead of me just preparing these sides, but it's all going to be worth it. Yeah, that's better. Lots of sanding, lots of dust, lots of chaos and carnage. But Progress has been made. So we've got the vibrant stunning stain ox blood as a base coat. I'm going to let that dry off for a little bit, and then the true fun is going to start happening, because we all know sanding guitars down is the whole reason we build guitars, is to sand them. Sanding guitars is not the fun part. It can be meditative, it can be enlightening, but it is not fun. Find me in the comments. I started building this guitar in a field at Glastonbury Festival 2023, almost a year ago now, and well, I got it strung up, built from raw wood to a playing instrument, but not finished. And to say that Glastonbury changed my life is an understatement. In the years since then, literally everything about my entire life has changed. It was a transformative experience. It showed me you've seen the videos, you've seen what's happened, and there's been a lot, and it's been absolutely incredible. And my middle name for the past year could very well have been Benjamin Executive Dysfunction Crow. And I was talking with a friend the other day who said, Ben, you just need to take the patience off the table. Either kill a project or finish a project. Either way, you will feel better and you'll start getting back into the swing of things. And I have been doing that. There's been a lot of that. Not so much of it evident on the channel, but that is changing. Part of the process is that I want to take this guitar back to Glastonbury this year and have a finished instrument that I am proud of. And through everything that I've been doing, I'm becoming more and more and more inspired, and remembering why I did this, why I started building, why I started Crimson, why I started the YouTube channel in the first place. All of this was all about facilitating me having fun, pushing the boundaries of what I personally could do, of what is done in guitar making. And well, I'm looking forward to doing something just like that at the festival this year. So if you're anywhere near the Greenfields area of Glastonbury 24, look me up. It's going to be fun. So I'm going to start things off in the normal way, just applying stain with a nicely folded bit of the tissue that we sell at Crimson as well. This is heavier duty stuff. And yeah, I'm going with the Mulberry Vibrant Stunning Stain. Going on fairly dry, and I apply I love that colour. I apply with the figuring in the wood, so if there are any streaks or nonsense, it tends to get hidden within the grain. The other part of the process is always to pull the tissue from the center of the guitar to the outside edge. If you pull it that way and you have a little bit more stain on the rag or tissue than you want, you can create drips that go over the side of the instrument. And in this case, that wouldn't be the end of the world, given what I have planned for later, but we want to avoid that. Now this is a water-based stain. My tissue is starting to disintegrate. So just fold it over and carry on. As the previously applied coat starts to dry, I do go back and just try and blend it in a little bit. Again, because this is water-based, I can actually go back just with water and dilute and pull up some of the existing stain if I want to, which I do in this case. But that's later. There's a couple of cracks where I can see white. I'm just going to go across the crack and see if I can get a little bit more stain inside there. With a fresh piece of tissue, take up any excess. And that's also burnishing the finish a little bit. Leave that to cure. Leave that to dry for a few minutes. Same bit of tissue. And I'm dipping it in a little bit of water. I'm not going on too damp. But I just want to pull up a little bit of a burst in the middle. It's not going to take a huge amount of stain off, but it's enough to make a difference. Give a little bit of variation in here. And I'm going to leave that to flash off and see what it looks like. In person, it's a lot less apparent as it is on the screen. There appears to be a watermark around the edge, and I do not like what's happened here. So we go on to what was originally going to happen, and that is to just gently remove a little bit of the stain, just lightly, and I'm basically lifting as I go, or at least lifting pressure as I get to the edges. And I'm going to just clear up that witness mark. Yeah, in person there's almost no delineation there. On camera you can see a slightly darker line. A trick that PRS put to good use is utilizing 2 or 3 different types of stains on their instruments. So they will have aniline dyes and spirit-based stains and water-based stains, and essentially they don't dilute each other, they don't detract from each other, they go on top and pop. So I'm going to use some spirit-based crimson stunning stains, bright pink. Oh yeah. Yeah. Smelly stuff. Do I have pink on my nose? I think that bottle... I do. I've got pink on my nose. That bottle was open because I was playing with it earlier, and now I've got a pink spirit-based stain nose, which is probably going to be there forever. I'm going to go and find a mirror. Excuse me, people. Nothing to see here. Nothing happened. You saw absolutely nothing. I cleaned the bottle off. I'd apparently not closed it properly earlier because I'm a numpty. If I was just to apply pink in the middle, I could potentially, with skill, make it look like that it was only supposed to be there. And I'm going to attempt that, but I think what I'm going to end up doing is covering the entire back of the instrument with the pink. I do, just out of interest, want to see yeah, there we go. If you go on very dry, you can actually do that. Remember, the finish underneath is now burnished from hitting it with this tissue several times dry. And you can get a hand applied burst that does look fairly convincing. You don't need a spray booth. I'm going to let that dry and see. Close the bottle. Numpty. Now that does look okay, but it wasn't what I had originally planned on. I've got a darker side going to a lighter burst to dark on the inside, and that is not the plan. So I'm going to carry on with the original plan and apply pink over the entire instrument, and having a double coat of this pink in the center may well accentuate that burst. So as with anything I do, it's constant experimentation. I'm getting the color that I wanted, which is just super, super intense. And I do want some of this pink over the oxblood on the edges. Always close your bottle, says the man who knocked over 3/4 of this bottle earlier today. Dry tissue. Take off any excess. This dries almost immediately, being spirit-based, it's off-gassed. Trust me, I can smell it. Okay, now I'm going to go in with some blood orange very gently on the edges. And this might not work how I want it to. I don't have very much scrap wood to play around with at home. So, well, let's see. Worst comes to worst, sandpaper, reapply. No loss. And I'm after a very, very subtle effect here. Now this orange is water-based again, and it's going over the top of a spirit-based stone that is over the top of a water-based stone. I like that so much, I'm tempted to not do what I was planning on doing. Damn it. Life is full of difficult choices. While I think about that, I'm going to apply the exact same finish onto the front of the instrument, the sides and the neck with pink, or at least partially. You should always be thinking about what the instrument's going to look like in the end. And I don't want stain inside that nice, clean expanse. Back to the mulberry. And I'm going to stop talking now. Honest. Oh no, there's a patch of glue there I'm going to have to get rid of. These little things are great. And you can see where my the thumb of my glove broke earlier in the day. Of course, because, you know, that just happens. Now this is just one of those things that happens, and if it's just wood glue, you should be fine. I have in the past, in the distant past, had issues with super glue, completely messing up my ability to stain a guitar. I had been using super glue for binding and being a little bit overzealous with the application, and it just went everywhere. Almost perfect. There's still something going on there, so back at it. While the water-based stain on the top cures and dries and does all that good stuff, I'm going to go in with some pink. I'm starting to lose the light, and the lighting in this studio is not great yet. I do need to work on that, so I'm probably going to stop staining for now and come back in the morning. Who am I kidding? I have got to get this finished. You don't want the stain to build up on the back of the sandpaper. That's what happens when you're in a rush and you do it before it's dried properly. I hear you screaming at me. Put the lid on the bottle, Ben. And I'm listening. I'll do what I'm told. Okay, I promised you something different, something cool. And so far I've just given you a fairly standard staining tutorial or experience, whatever. I am going to come back in another video, which was not the plan when I started filming this. And I'm going to do something fun. Potentially not what my original plan was. Initially what I wanted to do was create 2 or 3 different sized silicone rubber stamps of circles. And I wanted to create the sunburst utilizing different colors and multiple colors of those stamps, and layer purples and pinks and oranges and blues and maybe yellows and things like that, and build up the illusion of a sunburst in that way. And I really want to do that on a guitar, and let me know in the comments below if you want to see that soon, and if you do, I'll find something that we're building at headquarters, or pull out a body from the storeroom or something, and I will do that, and it will be fun. I like the look of this so much that I don't want to mess with what I've got going on. That happens more often than not when I'm building a guitar. I go completely off-piste, and I think that's why some people at least watch the channel. What I am going to do in the next video is part of that process. Purples and pinks and this sort of coloration works very well in my mind with gold. It's going to look impressive, I think. I'm starting to see glimmers. Also, check this out. I'm not sure if I am up to my old tricks again and trying to be too perfect. Maybe I should Jackson Pollock this. Thank you for watching. Please click like and subscribe if you have yet to do so. And thank you for, just genuinely thank you for watching. I'm pulling the channel back to what it was, what it should be, what it always should have been, which is building guitars, having fun, pushing boundaries. And I really appreciate the fact that you're here for the ride. So, well, I'll see you in the next video. The third one of what was supposed to be a single video. Back to old tricks, I see. See you soon. I need to open some doors and windows. That spirit stain is... Oh yes.